Boom! Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This is Samuel Davis III, and I am the co founder and chairman of Bridge Visions. Today, we are back, and it has been a while. I got a new, fresh face here that I've been waiting to introduce you to, and an old familiar face here. Today, I want to talk about this whole new, fresh start that we got. This is our season 2, and I'm very happy to be with some very special friends. And what we want to talk about is this new year, this new fresh start. Here it is, March, but it's just our fresh first start of this season. So I want to just talk about what's been going on since the last time we talked, what's been going on in your life, how things have been treating you, how life has been treating you. And I want to start up by talking about myself. I want to talk about me. Yes, me. Here we are. California house is still under construction. They just got out my room probably about 30 minutes ago, and the studio bedroom is coming along very well. I'm looking forward to all the work, and we still have not got upstairs to start on the ADU yet because we're doing so much stuff down here. I wanted to talk to you about this new year too today because my brother that I haven't spoke to, my blood brother that I haven't spoke to in 10 years, is going to be coming by tonight, and we're going to talk. Last time we spoke, it wasn't good. We had one of those relationships where it didn't end up well, and it's been something that has been on my heart for a long time. It just so happens that my father happens to be in a hospital, and I know that lots of times people use emergencies like that as a catalyst to get back together, to say, hey, it's time for us to get back together again. Let me use this as an excuse to meet or get back with the person. Some individuals use it as an excuse, or some individuals don't even care whether you're in a hospital. They don't care because what you did they felt was so egregious, hurt them so bad. They're still hurting and carrying that hurt and pain with them. I can admit that I did for a while, but I can also admit that I got soft within myself, and I went through a lot, and I kind of deadened those things to me. When I say deadened them to me, I left my brother and my family. I just stopped. I just couldn't do anything with them anymore, and I just stopped talking to them. Now, with today and with the events of things going on with my father, there has been an opening, and I'm going to step through that door, and I'm going to start some things with my brother. And after I start with my brother, I know everything else is going to just start falling down, like just going to open up a major door. And so my question is, as I want to go and bring my guys in here, I want to talk to you, and I want each of you to come in and talk and tell me where you've been at in your life, what's been going on. And I also want you to do a kind of a brief, because this is just the three of us today at this time. Just give a briefing of who you are, what you do, and where you are at spiritually, mentally, in your mind. When you have an opportunity to make amends with family members, how do you go about doing it, or do you shut it down? That's my question to you. So I'm going to bring this up as we bring in my guys here, and we're going to start here. Well, there it goes. It just chose you, Dave. Welcome.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself, Dave.
Oh, okay. Well, currently I'm 74 years old. I've been in a military family, so I traveled a lot when I was a child. I have always been into music. I've done a few things on the side to support myself when the music couldn't, but now I'm in a really good spot. I've been in touring bands with probably people whose names that you would know. And I'm now producing music for myself and for a lot of singer songwriters and other bands in other states and here in San Diego. This is where I'm at. And I just recently went through a big family thing. You're talking about family. My father passed away. My mother passed away some 10 years ago, but my father, being the patriarch and the military leader of the family, he was quite the authority figure. And he taught me a lot, but we were at loggerheads our whole life. So to the theme that you were talking about, he and I didn't get along. I mean, we had a broken life together. I could spend hours telling you the stories where I broke his heart, but that's irrelevant. We did patch it up in the last 6 months of his life, which was rough on all of us. Um, and the way I do it, the way I patch things up with people, is I understand one principle that I've learned this over the years. Is the first principle I understand is you can't give anybody anything unless you have it yourself. If I wanted to lend you $1 and I didn't have $1 in my pocket, it wouldn't matter if I wanted to lend you that dollar or not. I wouldn't have it. So what I learned was I got to fix myself first. So once I fixed myself, and I don't claim to always be fixed because that's a moving target, but I do claim great thought. I live up on a hill in the middle of nowhere, and for the last 25 years, I've been healing from a life of, let's just say, not a sheltered life. And I am now in a position to be able to think for long periods of time, and I don't watch a whole lot of news. I do follow politics because you got to know which way the ship's going. And we all know what that's like at the moment, so I won't get into that. But back to the family. When you're healing from a family or healing from someone else, my best advice is let them be who they are. Stay in the center. Don't let them knock you off, but you can't do that unless you've thought about it. And then just give them love and compassion and understanding. You don't have to give them agreement, but you do have to give them their space to be who they are. I try not to argue. A point especially I've learned that people who are trapped deep in story, they can't hear you anyway. All they want you to do is commiserate and listen. As soon as you offer a solution, they're going to either disavow your solution or they're going to be angry with you for offering something they hadn't thought of, and they will character assassinate you from there. But I find that the best way to heal the world is to heal yourself first and then live in forgiveness and compassion. And then after that, keep your thoughts right. Don't think of negative things. Don't live in the weighty side of human culture. Live in the good side. All human cultures have good parts and bad parts, and there's jerks in every culture, and there's aspects of every culture that are just freaking brilliant. So let's take the best of all those parts, put them together, and let's like just make this all work. We don't all have to die going over the cliff, holding hands, singing Kumbaya. We can all have a difference of opinion.
Wow, Dave, boy, you talk about walking and hitting home runs.
Dude, you told me, you said you wanted to hear it. You said you want it right between the eyes. I can do that.
Well, you know, the thing is this. Let me say this. You don't live in the middle of nowhere now. I have been to the what do you call it? The studio. What do you call it?
Sanctuary Lab.
I have been to the sanctuary. And let me tell you something, Benji. Oh, Benji's got a great view too. But this man, Dave, lives on top of a mountain looking down on a lake that is absolutely amazing. And you know that picture that you got, Benji, at your place? Benji shows us one day, Dave, let me tell you, just like you, he shows us this picture of his backyard one day, or I don't know what it was that you showed it. And I look back there and he's got a lake back there or something in his backyard, just like you. And I'm like, what the heck? And he's just acting like it's nothing. You know, oh yeah, but that's just my, it's just my backyard. And
Yeah.
there you go. You see that right there, Benji? You see that? That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let me put him back in.
I saw it.
So you see, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This guy, I love the humility of both of you. I really do. I really do. But my Lord, man, don't say you don't live in the middle of nowhere, because you have a literal sanctuary, and I have been there, and I have been healed, and I have drank from the healing waters. Now I want to bring this in now, because I want to bring in Benji. Now again, Benji, I want you to kind of start off just like Dave, kind of give him a fresher and let him know who you are, because Benji's got a great story too. And man, go ahead, Benji.
Sure. I'm Benji Casetta. I'm 60 years old, right? So I've been in the United States since 74. I grew up in Thailand, and so I came in 74. I grew up in a military family that's just like everybody else here. And just like everybody else, I'm learning to be Benji and being himself again, to be sincere, to be real, to be authentic again. You know, we have all these community, society rules of how to live our life that that was taken away from me from a very, very young age. From the age of like 4 or 5 years old,
Mhm.
I haven't been me for so long. So I live everybody else's story. I live my mom's story. I live my dad's story. I live my stepdad's story. I live everybody else. So when Sam and I met, it's kind of like it was absolutely stunning. I was just in tears about what what that little Benji went through because I put him inside a little confinement. Now the funny thing about that, the door was open, but he was so scared to come out. So it took a very long time for him to come out again, to be that sincerity again. Now, my day job, I'm an IT guy. I build software since I was like a little teen. That's kind of natural instinct for me. That's what I do for a living, and I made a great living for it. I have exes and grandkids and things like that that I absolutely love and adore. Those are my love and my passion. And these are things that last year, and we talk about losing family and friends. I had four that passed away, and it was back to back. The thing that was really difficult, one of that passing was during the time that me and Sam was at the Landmark Forum. It was devastating. But because of that, I was able to connect with Sam and also another person, Jessica, really, really well because they were strong enough to hold the space for me to do what I need to do to take care of my family. And that was always appreciative. That is having somebody back that you guys are soldiers, you know what it feels like to have somebody back, right? In this situation. And I'm always going to be uh, uh, grateful for that moment. The last few months, and then when Sam and I talk about like how the business world, and here's what I know about business. This is what I told Sam: don't compete, create, because business is business, and it's going to get worse before it get better. But the thing is, you don't want to cross over to the morality, right? Because I can easily cross over that and make lots of money, but that's not what I want. I can do that all day long. We all done it when we were younger. We did all that. That's where it's coming to right now. We can actually get on that, but we're going to be, like the Google people say, we don't want to do evil. They're doing evil right now with all the stuff going on with business. So for us, of spiritual men and integrity, we have the strength and power to create the society and the light we want, right? And that's where my focus is. So spiritual wise, I've been writing a lot. I've been reading a lot. And I know Sam, you have changed religion, but I've been reading a lot of Psalm. I've been reading a lot about like the Bible and things like that. A lot of my poem music came from that inspiration. So these are things that I've been working on quite a bit. So my connection with God had gotten strengthened and stronger. Now, I will tell you, there's days I struggle. There's days I suffer just like everybody else. But as long as I put my attention to God, that helps a lot. Healing my relationship with family, that's a tough one because I really don't have anybody left. I have no sibling. My best friend are gone. Now I have like a extended family that they absolutely support me just like Sam and everybody else. They know what I gotta go through, but they also have this unbelievable confidence that I always pull through. And I do, right? But there's time that I'm on my knees. It's like, come home, come home. And that's all I need to hear because I just need to feel like I belong somewhere. And every one of us have to have roots somewhere. It's funny you mentioned about the cabin and stuff. I live in hotel. Last year I spent 82 days in a hotel, so I barely saw the balcony. And I love that life, right? And that's what I do best. And this year we're going to do even more. But
Mm.
this is also a year of action, right? This is the year we're not going to just talk about it. We're going to go, men, step up. Time to step up your queen. Teach your granddaughter, teach your daughter to be the queen they are. You are going to have to be the men that support them, right? These are things that I'm here to support this journey with my grandkids for.
Mm. Boy, there you go. That's my boy Benji right there. Now, see, this is this is how we started off right here. See, now Benji's also very, very humble, Dave. Let me tell you, he's being humble again now. This guy ran marathons. This guy used to be. Didn't you? How long were you with Tony Robbins? Did you
I
do
was
that?
I did the Tony Robbins early days. Like I was
Okay,
there.
in the early days. But see,
Early
this is
days,
back in the foundational days when
family
Tony
days. I
Robbins
was there for the
was.
whole year. I
Yeah,
was the
he was.
whole year.
So there,
Yeah,
man. Come on now, you gotta
yeah,
talk
I,
about the business. You don't just build
uh,
software now. You
yeah.
run. hold up now. You run companies now, Benji.
Yeah, I
Tell them
run
now.
companies.
Don't sit
Yeah.
back a little fan. Tell them who you are now. This is a chance. You got to puff your own chest a couple times too now.
Exactly.
This is
So
what we're here to do. We're here
yeah,
to talk.
yeah,
We're here
yeah,
to uplift, and we're here to understand that these things that we're talking about are between us,
yeah,
and that there are reasons that we need these spaces like this.
yeah.
We don't have all 5 of us here now together, but there are
Right.
other people that I have that are I'm going to bring into so that we can start talking to. But we need to have a space like this to talk about this, because I got some great gems from both of you today.
Mhm.
And when I'm going to get my brother, I think the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm kind of getting emotional right now thinking about, I'm just going to give him a hug. And
Yeah,
I'm probably going to cry because I just feel it right now.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to give him a hug, and
yeah.
it's been a really, really I mentioned to you before, my father used to beat me.
Mhm.
And he's in the hospital right now, and he's up to old tricks. He's manipulating people. He's doing all the old stuff, and I'm not ready to deal with him just yet, because I'm starting with my brother first.
Mhm.
And
Good
that's
thing.
the big one.
One at a time.
That's the big one. And so what I've heard from both of you today has been something that I'm just gonna start with just listening to him. I was using the construction around my house as a catalyst to say, hey, come on by, check out what I'm doing at the house. And as we're walking around, I'm sure we're gonna start talking about things.
Yeah.
I got a lot of things I want to say, but I think, as you mentioned, it's just Dave, just time for me to just let him speak. Let him
Yeah.
speak. And I will say this to you, and if I didn't tell you this before, my brother, who I don't know if I'll publish this one, but my brother married an old girlfriend of mine.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And at the time, that 10 years ago, she still had something for me. And it's just I can't even say nothing about it.
Well, why
I
do
don't
you
know.
have to? Why do you have to say anything about it?
There you go.
You don't, unless it's such a point of contention that you feel it will block you from accepting your brother's love. Then I would say, don't even bring it up. Let him bring up the touchy stuff, because I'm sure he feels a certain amount of weight about that same topic.
Yeah.
He's carrying a story with her that he's basically sticking it in your face. And so I would say, let him find the words and the time and the way to heal that portion of it. I think from what you've told me, I don't have enough information to be serious about advice, but I would say let him talk, and when you can, let him know that you care for him in some way, and that the rift between you is just a rift between you. It doesn't need to be there. It's just an idea. Let that idea go, and let's make a new idea, because you're in a new place, Sam. You're in a new world, and you're remodeling on your home. You're remodeling yourself, just like you and Kelly have been remodeling yourselves ever since I've known you. And so I'm saying, just keep it up. Just keep remodeling, man, because life is a moving target. That's all it is. I'm constantly changing, man. I get so messed up because sometimes I think, when do I get to arrive? Let me clue you, you don't ever arrive. It's just an ongoing thing. It's just you got to be with it all the time, and you got to be okay with change, and you just got to let it go. That's where I'm at right now. And what I have found, this is something that I've found, if you don't mind me chatting for a while. Am I good?
Please do.
Okay. There's an underlying thing. Benji mentioned this, that in business, it's just business, and the morality part of it. Here's what I learned, because I've been in business my whole life as well. There's a corporate mindset, and then there's two kinds of words. There's the word morality and the word ethics. This is how you can define it. The word ethics means it's a man-made law, a man-made rule. Morals are what is inherent to the human nature and the human mind. A moral is you can do something that is not healthy for you, not good for you, but it's morally correct. And
Mm,
you can do something that's ethically correct
mm,
and it's terrible for you. Like it would be legal for you to take that little old lady's house that went up on an auction for tax sale and kick her out of the house, kick her to the curb because she couldn't pay her taxes because she's 95 and can't work and ran out of money. Or you could be morally correct and buy the freaking house anyway and let her stay in it with an estate for life and pay her expenses. One would be morally correct, the other one would be ethically correct.
mm.
So there's the division.
Mhm.
You don't have to make a distinguishing between morals and ethics, but you do have to look at expediency.
Mhm.
Expediency will always make you money,
Yeah.
but expediency will also compromise your morals.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's just like when I have clients that all over the world, I know where they're heading, right? I understand exactly what you're talking about. So you do, as a personal, as a business owner, you do what you have to do to take care of the family and your responsibility. But you don't have to cross that line. People want to because the money is there. It's easy.
Yeah,
It's
exactly right.
easy for the taking, right?
Mm.
AI make that even more easier to do that. But the whole idea is like this is where living your divinity is. You have to find what that your divinity is, right? What it is that your God design pattern is, right? So these are things that you came down and you downloaded when you were like 3, 4, 5 years old. That was overwritten by society rules, law, and all these things. You didn't have a chance to fight that when you were young. You're not that anymore. I'm
Mm.
strong. I'm 60. It's going to take more than you just talking to me about what it is. You're going to change that. But the idea is that divinity blueprint's always been there. That God blueprint is always inside you. You know that already. But what people, especially now, because this is where the opportunity of making a lot of money is here. There's going to be a ship of people that are going to go on that ship, and there's going to be on the other ship. Both going to thrive differently. The definition of wealth is going to be redefined. Rich is going to be redefined, right? Things of that nature. That's what I was going for, and I see that right now. It is absolutely amazing. So when people ask me how the economic is right now, you can get on that incredible ride in the right way and ride that wave right now, and you got a really, really like maybe until the next election to really thrive in the right way. Or you can choose the fast path. You're going to burn out, just like those guys did at Wall Street. So these are things that I definitely been engaged with quite a bit in the last few months. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this. Part of that for me was just like I can do that because I want to take care of my family, and that's just an ego thing. I always have. God always provisioned for me no matter what. It's kind of ironic that as long as I put my faith into that, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, it is there. It's always been there. You have just to open your door and your heart about that. So what stopped that? And this was back to our conversation. That anger, that resentment we have for our family, of the people that hurt us and all that. If you don't realize all heavens live in you. All of us are in one another. They are our brothers and sisters, even our enemy, right? So these are things that are very difficult to kind of like segment out as a human being. Because I struggle with it. I have bad client that I'm like, you know what? It's like today I can smile for you, but tomorrow I'm not sure.
Benji, it's something because I have how does it say, we since we started this podcast, um it was we have I can feel a growth in you right now, for one thing. And it just sounds kind of funny because I'm listening to you right now. One thing you haven't told us about right now is, and I kind of would like you, and you too, Dave, in your immediate sphere who are around you, your family, like what is your support network, and who and what is your support network around you? Because you mentioned family, and when you mention family, I mentioned family. Who's your family for you, Benji? Who is your immediate family that you're talking about when you say family?
Oh, that's really my friend from back home. They always been there, Joe and Monica. They are like my extended family. They've been there since I was back in West Texas. I go to the house and hide for my family. They're the one that kind of protect me from that. Unlike you, I didn't get the physical abuse. I got all the emotional. Benji, you were not good enough. Benji, you stupid. Benji, and all that every day. And I say that in like I remember every day there was not a positive comment about Benji. And after a while, it sunk in, and I would go, go to their places. They uplift me. They're like, no, you're
Mm,
articulate, you're spiritual, especially Monica. Monica and I have this connection whether we can write with each other, even back then. Now,
mm,
the thing about writing for me was a big deal because when I graduated high school, I could barely read and write because I came from Thailand. I didn't learn all that stuff.
mm.
I just knew the voice. I just know the expression and the vibe, what I want
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Now, because of AI, it fixed my grammar, it fixed my spelling. So I'm like, perfect, because I can write the way I normally write, no punctuation, and then it works. And my person right now, her name is Iman, and she and I talk about. She gave me this one incredible, called about all about love. It's about community love, and the author is an English teacher, and it happened. Her writing style is exactly like mine. No
Uh,
punctuation, no capital. I'm like, okay, so I'm not the only one who's doing this. There's other people think that it's also
yeah.
normal. I read that book. I just about into it. I say, honey, you just gave me my soul back because all those years people say that was not proper. Yeah, it's not proper for you, but it is for me.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Benji, so you had mentioned also that there was someone your and I don't want to try to give
Mhm,
all your story out, but your ex-wife's children or
mhm.
something like that, you have
Yeah.
basically you still hold on to them and you
Oh
still
yeah.
support and love them, right? I
They're
mean,
mine. They belong to me
yeah,
now. I told them
yeah.
that because they'll come to me first before anybody else, right? So I got two grandkids
Good
and
sign.
and a stepson, and I also have an adopted daughter as well too. And that also because they all come to me, and we talk about just what we were talking about here. But like for example, Brooklyn is 25 years old. She's the one that's having a difficult time of all the identity being 25 female. And I say, Brooklyn, until you are who you are, finding that forever person is not going to be there because you're not your brand yet. You know, you don't know who Brooklyn is yet, and she understand that because she's living her mom, her grandma, her grandmother life at this moment. That's the branding, because that wound is there. The wound are there. It happens. It heals. You got to stop opening it up and having it infected. And we keep doing that to ourselves. And I got
Uh,
that wound. But actually, that scar gave me the strength and the resistance of what I got to do in life. And so I actually took that as a badge of honor now, more so than anything else. Like, it's not about beauty. It's about this is my strength now.
Mhm, mm. Now I got to pivot to you, Dave,
yeah.
because as we were talking, you know, I know you're a spiritual person, but I don't think I've ever heard you say Jesus, Buddha, whatever. You just live. The thing
Well, okay. I can explain that, Samuel.
explain that and explain to us who your close sphere is that you hang around with. I know what your father just passing. Obviously, you were close to your family again. So who
Kind of.
okay. Well, who tell
The
tell us, talk
closest
to us.
one, the closest one I am with that I consider family is Karina,
Oh.
because she's my partner in life. We have been through some real interesting changes for 27 years now. And
Mhm.
we've arrived at a point that very few people get to arrive at or are fortunate enough to have. My As far as my family, I've got two brothers and a sister. My parents are both dead. Both my brothers and my sister have disparaging religious beliefs. My one brother is a born again Christian. My sister is a Mormon, and my brother Dan is I would say he's a fallen Christian because he tried it for a long time and then he got discouraged.
Mm.
Me, you want to know what my religion is? My religion is I've done them all, and they all say the same thing. They all have a grain of truth. They all have a rule book and a list of enemies and a way to be. And if you find one that speaks to you, you should stay with that one because it's the message is going to be correct for you. It's the language that comes to you. What I believe, if you want to know the deep dark secret, I believe that we create our own gods in our minds and we're not brave enough to own it that we are creator gods in our own selves.
Ooh.
We always we don't want our own liability, so we punt it off to a God who we can say, well, it's God's will. That's to me why mankind invented religions. And that's what I believe is that we invented the religions, and we have, but they become stones around our neck after a while. When you first join a religion, that's not true. When you first join a religion, you have come home, you have found your people, you have found the people that accept you for who you are. But the main thing is you find a way that you have words that can explain those feelings that you've never been able to have before, and it gives you a sense of peace. Well, I posit that that sense of peace in your heart that you find is you discovering yourself and taking your own liability back and saying, I'm responsible for me. And then you become the arbiter. You're not alone. The universe is conscious and is in motion, but it just doesn't think about you. And that's who I think God is a conscious universe
Hmm.
in motion, building and destroying. And if you get in the way, you're dead, but you're not gone. The soul is energy. The energy can neither be created nor destroyed.
Hmm.
Energy, we change forms. I think upon it as cars. When this car breaks down, I'll get another car if I choose to, or I can remain incorporeal.
Hmm.
I come to this belief because I have literally been a Christian, a Buddhist, a druid. I've been into all kinds of spiritual new agey things. And to me, what I have found that they're all speaking the truth. They're all speaking the truth. It's just the rituals are different, and I don't believe any of them literally. I take them all symbolically. And when you take it symbolically, that's where the element of truth is, and you can get to it. If you want to understand the human mind, then you need to listen to a guy named Ken Wilber, who is a psychologist, spiritual man, who has outlined he leaves nothing out. No one is excluded. No one is left behind. No idea or thought is unexplained. It's
Mhm.
it's an incredibly thorough system.
Hmm.
But bottom line is we're all just as valid as each other. And then when we learn to accept ourselves for who we are, then we found God. Whatever you name that God, whatever you think that God is.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Go ahead, Benji. I know you got something to say.
yeah. I agree. I'm not into the doctrine itself. I'm into the teaching itself, right?
Yeah,
Buddha have,
that's where I'm at.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Buddha have a teaching, Christ have a teaching, you
Hmm.
know,
And they're all good. They're all
they are the same. They have one thing
do unto
same in common.
others.
Yeah, exactly. Have the same common. Even the four noble truth is similar to everybody else. We have four rules that we live by. It's similar
Hmm.
to everything, right? So the idea, the doctrine itself and the religion itself, that's just not what I'm at about. So because there's time that I read the Zen book because I grew up in Zen, right? Zen temple and things like that. I grew up in the Buddha temple. I love the Buddha temple. I love the discipline and all that. Also, I grew up Christian at the same time. I was Catholic, right? So I'm Filipino, half Filipino, so I was Catholic. So I'm okay with all that. Part of it I've learned, like all that is part of your root system of your life, of your of a tree of life. That's your root.
Hmm.
There's no need to do anything with it. It just is, right? So I don't go there and try to explain to people. It's like I don't get offended if you was like, well, you're a bad Christian. You're not here to judge here. You
According to who?
exactly. But Dave, you are here correct. We are God. We we are materialized in this body. Is
We're a
the
piece of God.
exactly. So who we are is this like expression of God, right? So the
Hmm.
question. This is back to actually in the landmark form was like one of the things the landmark form allowed me to figure out was I'm not just the character in my movie. I'm also the writer, the producer, the
Mhm.
Yes.
director of my movie. So here I am. I
Right.
have a choice to make. Back to the society. Are we in a matrix? Likely. So do you want to be in the matrix or you want to write your own matrix
Mhm.
That
scene,
ticket
Yeah.
right
right?
there.
Wow.
And that's what you want to be able to do. And that's what all the Buddha and all the Christ say. I overcome the world. That's what they're talking about. If we can
Sure.
overcome the world, and that's what happened,
Mhm.
we can create our own stories. We can create our. We always have been able to. We just got talk out of it basically. So that's kind of where I'm at.
It's the layers of onions that are piled on us by culture and by
Yeah.
people and growing up. We're born into
Mhm.
a system. Everybody is, whatever
Mhm.
that system is, good or bad. Our
Mhm.
parents are our first introduction into it. But as a child, think about it. A child has no language. A child has no good or bad. A child
Mhm.
just has experience. And
Correct.
everything for a child is delightful, unless they
Yeah.
were born angry. There are those. I was
Yeah.
not born angry. I was I was born. I was born. Here's what I would say. Here's what I would say is the driving force that makes a
Mhm.
difference in everyone's life. It's one word, and that's curiosity.
Mm.
If you have curiosity, you are going to be one happy guy because you'll be living in novelty forever because you're going to be trying this and trying that. When you're not curious and you succumb to story and you stay in stories, then story, belief, will trump facts, reality every day.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Dave, you out here throwing bombs, man. We just got you in here on the first episode, man. You out here throwing stuff out here like that?
Sam, you know me. I only got one speed, brother.
Well, ease up, Hammer, ease up. But here's the thing: when you brought up anger, because I actually wrote something up, and I want to put this question here, and I want to bring it up to both of you. Here we go. Because I was just talking about anger, and the question is, with who you are now and the space that you are in now, how do you handle yourself when confronted with an angry person or a family member? So I want to start there with you, Benji. We just got you talking Zen, and we just got you talking all of this great stuff. You walk up the door, and somebody tells you, "Hey, man, you messed up my software," and it's sitting outside your front door, and he's ready to confront you. Or how do you handle that with who you are right now? Not just now. We're here right now because we're talking on an elevated level because this is
Mhm.
us guys, this private. But really, how do you handle yourself when someone comes at you angry because they're not happy because of the software that you did and the hours that you put into it? How do you handle that?
Oh, I've got one just this week, right? And it's like it's the same thing. Don't defend. I give her the facts of
That's
what was done,
right.
and I don't defend. I've learned that it's just like Dave mentioned. If you defend it, it's like you're proving their point.
Exactly. You're opening the door. It's like, when did you quit beating your wife?
Hmm.
Ooh.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. You don't defend what you do. What I ask people when they get angry at me, because it happens as a music producer and you're helping singer-songwriters, they are very much guarding their little babies. And
Hmm.
you've got to be very careful how you introduce things to them, because people cannot get bigger than they can imagine themselves. And I already have a big view of the world and they don't. So I
Mhm.
can't just introduce, none of us here can introduce what we know to be an elevated thought to someone who is still stuck in a story. So
Hmm.
I would say when someone gets angry at me, I ask them, is that first question, is that your only concern? Is this problem, is
Hmm.
this the only concern? Because I don't want it to trail off into second, third, fourth, and fifth complaint. I want them to have all the complaints on the table. And when they do that, I have to be honest enough to go, I can fix that, I can't fix that, or that is what you're looking for is something you can't define. So how can I?
Wow, great. With that being said, I'm just gonna go. I hear somebody making some noise. I hear
Well,
two
leave
minutes.
us on and
Give me
we'll
2 minutes.
talk. You go
All
away.
right, I'll be right back.
Sound good, Dave.
So Benji,
Yeah.
where are you located at?
Austin, Texas.
Oh, Austin. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
great town for music,
Yeah.
man. You,
It is.
you ought
It
to
is.
be out. You ought to be meeting some really cool people there.
Yeah, like I said, I have to get into the groove of being me again. Like I've been business person Ben for so long. Because
I
when
understand.
yeah, so that's part of it. But the music scene here is absolutely vibrant. I agree with you. They're very, very, very sensitive to some of those things.
How do you
So
feel in the music thing? When you say you got into music, when did you first start becoming interested in actually taking actions to be a musician?
I didn't. I can hear music. I can always hear music. That's the thing. It's the weirdest thing. I can always hear the rhythm. I can always hear the beat, right?
Mhm.
But because for example, here's a story. I was born left-handed. They
And they
beat the
made you
crap.
switch to the right hand, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah,
They
same with
beat
me.
they beat the
I
crap out of me until I'm right-handed.
well, I didn't
So
get beat the crap out of, but I
yeah,
had to use my
yeah,
right hand.
yeah. And then I used to be able to draw really, really well. That was gone too. So I went from the creative side of my life to the logical side of my life, which is
Yeah,
the
I
computer
understand
world.
the split brain thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So those are things, and I never, kind of like really embrace that side of me, but I could always write and hear music. I always in my head, right?
Well, here's the
So,
thing that's really cool, man. You're in a position now,
mm,
especially in IT, where
yep,
with digital,
yep,
if you need to know some equipment that can do that for you, you just hook up with me
yep,
and I'll turn you on to some AI that's in the music side
yep.
that'll trip you out.
Yeah, just like when we get done, you go on going to the Spotify. Like I said, those music came from literally AI that I came like we developed together, just making those sound together. It's
Hmm?
crazy, but the lyrics are mine.
Yeah.
Now, the quality of the
It
music
needs
is
the
not
human quality. It does need the
exactly.
human quality.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet because it's still it doesn't have the soul. It just have the AI
Well, that's you,
sound.
brother. That's
Exactly.
you.
But this is where that you and I can connect. So you know what? Here's the lyrics I want, but here's the sound I would like to go through with it, and here's how the AI produced it. But
All right.
I went in there and changed a couple of like things, but I'm just still a novice at that. But I went through some changed some of those notes. I'm like, this sound better with this and things like that. AI can't do that because I can literally hear it a lot better. So these are things I'm always been gifted, always have, and I just kind of put it in,
Well, it's a
put it
natural
back.
thing for you to
Mhm.
do it that way, and so you
Yeah,
should. There's a
yeah,
few things that I could probably turn you on to that would
yeah.
clarify. Mainly, what you have to learn is glossary.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you understand the glossary on anything you're trying to learn, that's what I study first. I go right to I go to the words and I go to what the icons are, and I
Hmm.
try to figure out what they all mean. Then you
Yeah,
can start asking the right questions. Until you
yeah,
can ask the right questions, you're
yeah.
just you're just shooting in the dark.
Yeah, and it's because of AI, because I can talk AI, it's a lot more fluid for me because
Yeah.
like if I have to learn it like 10 years ago, it wouldn't be because the tool that we have is real fluid because I understand how to talk to it, right? Because I built these things, right? And the funny thing, my life circle, they're all musician. Like my stepkids, my friends, they're all musician that actually can play. I'm the
Uh,
only one that really can't play.
Well, you're blessed to be around that much good
Yeah.
energy then.
Exactly. So I did. So I know all like I grew up with like pretty much that. And then these are back to like what is your divinity pattern? That's what the original pattern was. So this is where we are.
Well,
I
you
said
know
I come
what,
back.
that Benji, we're gonna have to talk offline. No, no offense to you, Sam. I still love you, brother. But
This is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We have each of you guys, everybody comes from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
and obviously, like I mentioned, different ethnicities, and we all got great stories behind it.
Yeah.
Each of us have got things. Look at Dave and his music.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
there. Listen, I was actually just going to show you. You should. Dave
Yeah.
did one of the most amazing things with my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
He
oh,
actually
that
took
little
a
thing, yeah,
song.
that
I
was
was
fun, wasn't it?
I want to try to see if I can bring it and put it in here. Let me see if I can put this in the group because this thing was amazing. I thought this, you took my mother's voice. Let me just see if I've not done this before. So let me see if I can take something and how
You
do I
just
get.
go to the YouTube and pull up the link that I gave you, and it'll
Yeah,
be on
I've never did a
YouTube.
link in here before. So it's kind of different. I'm using StreamYard for this, and I had not done I haven't done a
Oh, I
link.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna do it this time,
No,
but
don't waste any time doing that because it's just a little ditty. But uh,
oh, it was amazing. It's not just a little ditty. See, this is the humbleness that I'm talking about. See, this is the humbleness that I'm talking about because those
your
are things that
mother-in-law did it. Your mother-in-law did it. All I did was just fluff it a little
did.
bit.
Yeah, exactly. This is a guy who recorded my wife's voice and then came back with a notebook and had it all digitized and hand printed out and what her voice looks like. In I don't know what it was that
You
you
know
had that.
what? If you want to start a good business, Sam, you want to make some bucks, all you got to do is go around with a tape recorder and let people say their names, and then you look at the transient and you blow that transient up, and it's that person's name, and then you can sell and put an audio with it, so when someone hits it, it says Johnny Smith or Betty Lou or whatever, and just it'd be something they could hang on their wall. It'd be just
Yeah.
a transient of their name, but that's what it looks like. That's the physical side of it, you know.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to you, because to me it looks like yum 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 yum.
Yeah. Well, so like David and I can see those things, right? Because
Mhm.
computers that way too. But the world is digitized now at this particular point. Pretty much
Absolutely.
everything's going to be that way.
I think it's exciting and a
Yeah.
good thing if it's used properly.
Yes, and
Mm.
that's back to the first conversation we have.
The
There's a
morality side of it, yeah.
Yeah, it is extraordinary opportunity right now for humanity to grow. This
I
is a
agree.
great the thing is like everything else that came through, humanity have kind of like made into a commerce. This here could
It shouldn't all
change.
be about money.
Yeah,
No, 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 no.
this one could change even further because it allows. This is the reason I keep going back to this is everybody talk about Benji's ADD and all this stuff. I think fast quickly. Because of AI, it's allowed me to summarize what I'm trying to do
Hmm,
quickly and easier.
a tool.
So I can project my thought 10 times quicker, right?
Well, here's the
But
thing. You
yeah,
said something earlier, Benji, about
yeah.
about uh, people choosing their own way, and
Hmm.
this group of people are going to go
Hmm.
that way, and these
Hmm.
are going to go that way.
Hmm.
I see it this way. We're all. I see energy. I've always been a sound guy, and
Hmm.
so I hear energy and I see energy. I did a whole lot of acid and mushrooms when I
Hmm.
was younger, and I went on some adventures that never went away. And an
Hmm.
understanding that I came up with is that all life is energy.
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
if I think there's one side of the human population right now that's raising their vibration.
Hmm.
And when you raise your vibration, you're at a different frequency, like a radio
Hmm.
channel.
Hmm.
And I think the ones that are going into the expediency and the ethics, they're dropping, they're getting heavy, and they're
Hmm.
building.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
going into that capitalist, political,
Yep.
evangelical,
Yep.
slap them in the face and retribution and punishment. And then
Yep.
there's those of us that are trying to say, well, no, 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 it's not about that.
Yeah.
This is about love. This is about compassion. This is about support.
Correct.
This is about inclusivity, not exclusivity.
Agree. Agree. And I get about the energy for me, like you mentioned, the sound, like the 528 and the 432, those are the sound that I when I like a what do you call it, like the singing bowl or the Tibetan bowl.
Oh yeah, Tibetan
w-
bowls. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when somebody hit
Specific
the right,
frequencies.
yeah, when they hit the right note, my body is just absolutely vibrate,
I'll give
right?
you this, Benji. You
Yeah,
want to? I'll give you. You're an IT
yeah,
guy. You can do this. You have all
yeah.
the technology.
Hmm.
We all human beings, because of the way we're structured, our larynx, our chest,
Yep.
our size,
Hmm.
our whatever,
Hmm.
we all talk at a certain pitch.
Yep.
If you belly laugh, I'm
Hmm.
giving you this one for free, brother. If you belly laugh, and you can capture that belly laugh
Yeah.
on any human being,
Yeah.
we always belly laugh at the same exact pitch and at the same exact rhythm. And if you could capture someone's belly laugh, what you can do is convert that into their exact frequencies at
Hmm.
pitch and rhythm. And when they get sad or depressed, you can play that for them
Yeah.
and they will instantly go, whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Is
Yeah.
that something that you've done, Dave?
Yeah. I had my sister had a daughter who's not right in the head. She had a brainstem problem
Wow.
and she gets violent and she can't do anything. She's not coordinated. She's about like a 3 or 4 year old. And my sister got her a guitar. And so what I did is I tuned the guitar to her body pitch in an
Hmm.
open tuning. And this is for you, Benji, too. You want happy, it's a major key. You want melancholy, it's a minor key. Okay.
Hmm.
So I figured she was already in a melancholy spot. And if I had to tune the guitar to her melancholy and she strum it, it would just exacerbate that energy. But what I did was I tuned it to the major. I tuned it to the happy on her. And so when she would start getting angry, my sister would strum the guitar in the major key and it would calm her down.
Hmm. Yeah. So,
Oh.
so piano is like that with me. Like
Yeah,
piano is
exactly.
like that with me, right? That's why I love this is back, like I love going to the piano bar. Like the old steakhouse piano bar.
Yeah,
That
right,
was
right.
me. And then the other thing for me was trumpet.
Oh,
Trumpet. That's why I
wow.
love jazz, right?
Neat.
So
Right.
yeah, so I love that, like kind of like that George Benson jazz, guitar, trumpet kind of thing. when I first heard like Miles Davis, blew me
Oh,
away. It blew me away,
oh
right?
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I was like, okay, this is. Think about this. I grew up in West Texas, right? I'm sitting here going, where is that coming from? Like, where? How did I even feel that? Because I was like, people think I was losing my mind, but I wasn't, you know.
Mm.
And as it turned out, like I said, I have the knack for hearing those things, right? These are, everybody loved rock and roll. Everybody all loved the Beatles and, like all that stuff. I grew up with all that stuff. I love country music, but it's the instrument that I enjoy the most.
Mm.
Piano's number one, trumpet's number two. And
So
that's my,
Benji, hold up. Now do you play you play, you just like listening to it?
I can hear it.
He
I,
vibes with them.
yeah,
Wow.
I can hear it. It's like when even like when I'm in the right mood, my 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 vibration, like Dave said, is in tune. When I'm off, my vibration's out of tune. So the way he's mentioning, that piano will recalibrate me. It like reset my body.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
yeah, so
perfect.
yeah, and so like even like when I'm sitting in, like especially in the loud, like sometimes you drive in a car, you get real loud music, that vibration hits you in the car.
Hmm.
That's what it is. That's what
It's coordinate.
resetting it. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
totally get it. For me, that's really real. So
Do you
that's
have a piano?
I don't. Like I said, I don't really play, but like
I
I said,
don't say you need. I just asked
yeah,
a question. I didn't ask
yeah,
if you played.
no,
Do you have access to a piano?
no. I
Here's what I would suggest
mm,
strongly for you, Benji. This would be
yeah,
so therapeutic for you, my little
mm,
brother.
yeah,
If you were to find a keyboard
hmm,
that and record your voice,
hmm,
and then just a simple sentence,
hmm,
something that you believe in, some heartfelt thing that you can
hmm,
say into a microphone,
hmm.
and then play those pitches on a keyboard or play them
Oh,
on
okay,
a trumpet or just put it into a digitizer and it'll tell you exactly what the notes are.
okay,
And take those notes at the same exact frequency and pitch you are,
okay.
and if you can learn
You know
to
what?
have that around, that will put you if you can find that state of mind where you're in your
Yeah,
zen point, you're in
yeah,
that zen spot.
yeah,
If you can speak words into a microphone and capture those at that time,
yeah,
then you can just feed that into something that'll tell you what the notes are,
yeah.
and then record that, and you will have a blueprint for how to put yourself into a state of peaceful center, into a
It,
peaceful balance.
Exactly. So this is almost close to what I'm doing right now. So when I
Perfect.
started with this, I was recording myself in affirmation and creating music with it, but
There
it's
you
my
go.
but it's
Perfect.
my voice. But then when I took that same word that I wrote and used it in this AI tool with different voices in the right musical notes, I I I listened to it all day. I'm like, because I'm sitting here going, I'm crying because, oh my gosh, this is me finally. This is my projection, my God divinity finally
It's your
expressing out.
redemption, little brother.
Yeah,
It's
it's
your
like,
redemption.
and so this 3-4 song that I have right now is literally I wrote so far back. What I share with you, Sam, that was for Imani, but there's a couple of 'em was just me personally that I had the tone that I wanted, like Dave was mentioning, but it was really ethereal tone more than anything else, and was very much kind of like that, and that's what it is. It's not genre of music. It's not that. It's really ethereal,
It's not
kind of thing.
music, it's
Yeah,
healing.
yeah. So that was my thing, was how do I add value to society? How do I help my circle? When I
Mhm.
say this a little while ago, this is the year of action. This is for
Ah,
me to
yes,
provide this
yes,
for our people, and
yes.
our people that's ready for it. Back to the difference between this year and last year and the year before and before that. We're not here to rescue. We're here to offer. When you're ready, you come. We'll
I
take care of
believe
things.
that. Well said. Well
So,
said,
Yeah.
Ben.
with that being said, and for brevity's sake, with that hour done went really fast, folks. I just
Always,
want to say this.
always.
This has been amazing, and we want to talk about value. What I would like after we finish is Benji. You have to post that post that you did in our group so that Dave can read it. Let me tell you something. This this thing, and that picture with you on the bike. Oh, you have to post this.
Okay.
This is how I figured that this guy, this guy here, is something special about him. So, with all that being said, I want to say this is a great introduction to bring you into the group, Dave. And
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I'm glad that you're here because obviously I left for a minute. You two guys went off on a whole nother tangent, and I appreciate that. I want to have much more great conversations like this. And I hope that next time we get together, we can get a couple more of the guys in so you can meet them and that we can have this again. I know Monday they're actually coming back in here again to start more other stuff in this other area in the room.
Yeah.
But I just bought myself a new laptop so I can move out and go somewhere and get a little mobile now. So we can do this a little bit more now, I believe. I'm going to see how it works because I want to make sure I get all this optimization and the videos and everything around and see how it works. But I had a great time today, guys.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for inviting me.
This was really great. This is just an hour today, and we'll see what happens next time. So thank you all for participating in this, and you guys, please jump up in the chat group because Gordon has actually made an app that we can use because we want to bring other people in on an app. So it's kind of like a Facebook app, but just for us in our heightened spiritual awareness. So what we're going to do is ultimately get into a point where we can say, hey, I need some help this going on right now. Like I asked you guys earlier about my brother. What do you do? How do you handle, anger and things like that? That's what we want to be able to do later on. Might be able to say, hey, grab the app and it'll pop on and say, hey, I don't know who you pray to, but hey, I need some prayer right now. Hey, I don't know what you got. If you got a couple of minutes, hey, can we talk or whatever? Throw out a thing. Benji threw out a verse Kelly and I were in the morning last week, or no, the week before last, 2:00 in the morning. Things are going on. My mother and father, with the mental things, they start spinning about 4:00. Right about now, they start spinning with the sundown. And we were up that morning about 2:00 in the morning, and Benji sent us this song. And oh my gosh, Benji, it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing for what we were going through and discussing. It just came at the right time. And that's what I believe that this podcast can be for us.
Mhm.
That's what I want it to be. Something that just for us guys to sit back and talk about things on a higher plane, on a higher vibration, so that we can uplift each other. And thank you for showing today, Dave. And I'm looking forward to the next time. So for Bridge Visions and the podcast here, we are out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.